The state Supreme Court recently ruled Washington's law regarding drug possession is unconstitutional, resulting in legalized possession of drugs in our state. What are your concerns?
State v. Blake came down last week from the Supreme Court, and it decriminalized the possession of drugs. That includes hard drugs, fentanyl, meth, heroin. Our argument is that you should never, ever be able to do nothing. I mean, doing nothing should never be an option. So if you currently see even a teenager, shooting heroin in your town, the police have to walk away. And we think that we do need to help them, but the infrastructure that for them to get help, as far as substance abuse centers across the state of Washington, they're just not there. And criminalizing those makes it so that often that's where they get help. They get help in facilities, and it's heartbreaking. This was a shocking decision, and we've got a package of bills to try to counter that.
What's being done about it in the legislature? You said you've got a package of bills?
We do. We've got, I think, 4 or 5 that will add knowingly back into the statute. It will make sure that we have a prohibition against children being able to use hard drugs. There's quite a few tactics that we have in place, and we're going to work hard to make sure that we don't risk public safety by this last action by the court.
You serve as ranking Republican on the House Public Safety Committee. A bill came through that committee and recently passed the House floor, which enacts restrictions on what law enforcement officers can and cannot do on the job. Tell us about that bill and your concerns.
It's House Bill 1054, and it was a police tactics bill. So it had 11 sections that basically disarm police. They made it more difficult for them to use tools to keep us safe. One of the big sections that I focused on was I added an amendment to put the use of canines in the state of Washington, police dogs, back into legislation, because under the bill, we were not allowed in the future to use canines for police work, which is devastating. As you know, their sense of smell is times 10,000 to 1,000,000 times stronger than ours. And so why would we take away tools that can help find children, or that can help find a perpetrator who just murdered someone on the run? This bill's better now. We still voted no before it left for the Senate, but we do appreciate that. We have to remember that you can recall a trained police dog in pursuit. You cannot recall a bullet. This gives officers the opportunity to use less lethal force out in the field.
You have several bills advancing through the House. Tell us about those.
There's 3 bills that have moved from the House of Representatives over to the Senate. One is domestic violence. It addresses that. One has to do with cybersecurity. A lot of our personal information is at risk, and we need to do things to protect your and my social security number, as well as any other data and information the government has. And then also, we made sure that the overseas military voters who were over there, who get a ballot for elections, also get a voter's pamphlet. It's a simple fix, and they should have the same rights as you and I do when they're overseas serving us and being heroes to keep us safe. I have another bill, teen suicide, which is pulled from rules and should be on the floor hopefully today or early next week.
Where can folks back home get more information on these bills and issues?
Just go to representative.GinaMosbrucker.com. I think the information's on the screen. And we're happy to hear from you. The other thing you have to remember is you can testify. The bills are switching from the House to the Senate and vice versa. So just go to leg.wa.gov or just put in Washington State Legislature in your Google, and you can search participate in a committee. We would love to hear you. You can do it from your couch at home, and you can be part of the political process.